girl says it's gonna storm. Power lines likely to come down. Take a nap with me. Let the world go round. I wish I knew.
Let me describe my building in late 2024. First floor apartment, being used as a drug operation. Cookers. The kind of neighbors who make you nostalgic for Paula in 3D, which is saying something because I once described Paula as the bane of my existence. Apartment 2E, webcam girls. And look, no judgment about anyone's chosen profession. You do you, boo. But when your building has gone from 27 rent-stabilized apartments full of New Yorkers, seemingly normal, normal is not usually a word I would describe New Yorkers as, but pretty standard New Yorkers, it's gone to a rotating cast of drug manufacturers and online performers. Something has gone profoundly wrong with your property management situation. My social media accounts hijacked. Every single one. Someone was posting as me. Someone was messaging as me. Someone was building a digital version of Grace Mangum that said and did things the real Grace Mangum would never say or do. And the thing I realized, the thing that turned my blood to ice, was that they weren't just stealing from me anymore. They were trying to frame me. Buckle up, kids. The shit has officially hit the fan. Welcome to the episode that explains the season title, Hookers, Cookers, Police, and Thieves. It's not metaphorical. It's literal. My building had all of them, sometimes simultaneously. Last time I told you about the discovery, changing my phone number and finding out that I was locked out of my entire digital life. Today, we're going to go a little bit deeper into the abyss. We're talking about apartment problems that would make a landlord-tenant lawyer cry. Cramming, which is a specific form of fraud I'll explain. Multiple trips to the Apple Store, 11, I believe, in total. Trying desperately to secure my devices. Yet another number change. The takeover of my social media, and the horrifying moment I understood that I wasn't just a victim of theft. I was being set up. This episode has a lot. I have a lot. So let's get into it. Where do I even start? Let's go apartment first because it sets the scene. My building, my beloved rent-stabilized East Village building, had become unrecognizable. Remember, we started this season with 27 rent-stabilized apartments. By this point, the building had been hollowed out. Long-term tenants were gone, and who replaced them? Well, the first floor had become a cooking operation. And I don't mean someone making a lovely risotto. I mean cooking. The kind with chemicals and equipment and the kind of smell that makes your eyes water from 3 floors up. Drug manufacturing in my building, the building I'd called home for nearly 3 decades. And apartment 2E, webcam performers. Again, no judgment on the profession itself, but in the context of my situation, the presence of these operations in my building served a very specific purpose. It made the building feel unsafe and unpredictable and chaotic, which made me feel unsafe, unpredictable, and chaotic, which is exactly what the people behind my identity theft wanted. If your building is full of illegal activity and instability, you're less likely to be believed when you report crimes against yourself. Oh, she lives in that building. She's probably part of the problem. See how that works? The environment was being engineered to discredit me by association. Now, cramming. Let me explain this term because most people haven't heard of it. And if this is happening to you, you need to know its name. Cramming is the practice of adding unauthorized charges to your phone bill or other utility bills. Small charges, charges that look like they could be legitimate. A text messaging service, a voicemail feature, a premium something. They slip in among your regular charges, and unless you're reading every line of your bill with a damn magnifying glass, you won't notice them. I was being crammed. Charges appearing on my bills for services I'd never requested, never used, and in some cases never even heard of. And every time I called to dispute them, the provider would say, "It shows it's authorized." The refrain of my life. Everything shows as authorized when someone else is pretending to be you. The Apple Store. Oh, the Apple Store. I made multiple trips. Like I said, 11, I believe, in total, to the Apple Store in Soho, trying desperately to secure my devices because my phone, the new phone with the new number, was still behaving strangely. Settings changing without my input, apps appearing that I didn't download, the feeling that someone was inside my device, watching, adjusting, controlling, mirroring it on my laptop. So I'd go to Apple, and the geniuses, who are very smart people doing their best, would look at my phone and my other devices and say some version of, well, everything looks normal. Because from their perspective, the device was functioning correctly. The problem wasn't the hardware. The problem was that someone had access to my accounts, my iCloud, my Apple ID, and through those, they had remote access to my phone, my laptop, and my iPad. Explaining this to a 24-year-old genius who thinks identity theft means someone used your credit card at Target once, well, that's its own special kind of frustrating. I changed my number again because the new number was already compromised. The robocalls had found me. The cramming had found me. Whatever access someone had to my telecommunications infrastructure, a number change was a speed bump for them, not a wall. And then social media. One by one, my accounts were taken over. Not just hacked, taken over. Someone changed my passwords, my recovery information, my profile details, and then they started posting as me, using my name, my photos, my voice. I need you to sit with that for a moment. Someone is online pretending to be you, saying things that you would never say, interacting with people who think they're talking to you, your friends, your professional contacts, your family. They're receiving messages from air quote, you, that aren't from you. And you can't stop it because you're locked out of your own accounts. But here's the part that made me go cold. The content wasn't random. The posts, the messages, the digital behavior, it was designed to make me look bad, erratic, unstable, aggressive. It was a frame job. They weren't just stealing my identity, they were constructing a version of me, a digital puppet that would serve as evidence against me if things ever went to court or if anyone ever investigated. Look at her social media. She's unhinged. Except it wasn't my social media anymore. It was a performance directed by people who wanted me discredited, disbelieved, and ultimately destroyed. That is the moment when identity theft stops being a financial crime and becomes something existential. When someone isn't just taking your money, they're taking yourself, your voice, your reputation, your ability to be perceived accurately by the world. They're building a scarecrow that looks like you, and they're setting it on fire, and everyone thinks it's you that's burning. This is critical, so please listen carefully. Social media account takeover is one of the fastest growing forms of identity theft. And it's not just about losing your Instagram followers. It's about losing control of your public identity. Here's what you need to do right now before this happens to you. 1, enable two-factor authentication on every social media account. Use an authenticator app, not SMS. We've established that phone numbers can be compromised, so an authenticator app like a Proton authenticator app or Authy, AUTHY, generates codes on your device that cannot be intercepted through your phone number. Number 2, review all of your connected apps. Go to the security settings of every social media platform and look at which third-party apps have access. Remove anything you don't recognize or that you no longer use. Every connected app is a potential backdoor. Number 4, save your account recovery codes. I cannot emphasize this strongly enough. Most platforms will generate backup codes when you set up two-factor authentication. Print them out. Put them in a safe. a safe. Do not store them digitally. If your digital life is compromised, digital backup codes are going to be useless. Number 5, if your accounts are taken over, file reports immediately with each social media platform. Also, file a report with ic3.gov and document everything with screenshots. Use another device to take those screenshots or another account to take those screenshots with. Now, about cramming. Number 1, do yourself a favor and read your phone bill every month, every line, every charge. If you see something you don't recognize, dispute it immediately. Number 2, call your carrier and ask them to add a cramming block to your account. Not all carriers call it that, but they all have mechanisms to block third-party charges. And number 3, File a complaint with the FCC, that's the Federal Communications Commission, if you find any unauthorized charges. Cramming is illegal, and the FCC, thank goodness, takes it seriously. Okay, you know what I baked while my building was full of cookers? I baked a cake. The most aggressively delicious, over the top, you will not break me cake I could manage. Because if my first floor neighbors could cook, well, so could I. And my product, at least, was legal, it was delicious, and it didn't require a hazmat suit. There is something deeply satisfying about baking something beautiful in the middle of chaos. It's an act of defiance. The world is burning. I'm making cake. My social media is hijacked. I'm making cake. There are webcam girls on my floor and drug operations downstairs. I am making a flippin' cake. So, the cake recipe that I have for you is very simple vanilla cake with strawberry preserves and a beautiful fluffy vanilla frosting with a smidge of cream cheese in it. It's rich. It's, not dramatic, but it has that I am still here and I am still fabulous vibe about it. A couple of layers, go big. When everything else has been taken, take up space in that kitchen. Make something so magnificent that it cannot be ignored. And bring that to someone and say, I made this while my life was falling apart. Watch their face. That's the face of someone who now respects you deeply. So let's just recap. When everything hits the fan, when the shit hits the fan, it hits all at once. Apartment instability, cramming, device security failures, multiple number changes, social media takeover, and worst of all, the realization that you're being framed. Your building becomes a circus, your online self becomes a puppet, and you have to fight on every front simultaneously. So your action items after you listen to this are: number 1, enable two-factor authentication and use an authenticator app on all of your accounts, and do that today. I highly recommend Proton Authenticator, but there are other ones out there that are just as good. Number 2, print your recovery codes. Don't store them digitally, store them physically. Have that piece of paper, fold it up, and store it someplace safe that only you know where it is. Number 3, check your phone bill for cramming. Request a third-party charge block from your cellular service provider. Number 4, if your social media is compromised, document everything and report to platforms, each of the individual platforms, and report it to law enforcement. In the next episode, which is entitled Escape from New York, I'm going to be taking you through what it feels like to pack up 30 years of my life. 33, actually, in total, in terms of the amount of time that I lived in New York. I'm going to take you through driving a 15-foot U-Haul truck that I had never done before and getting the hell out of Dodge. We're going to Pennsylvania, and my sister is acting weird, and the rest of my family is silent. It's the episode where I leave, and leaving is both the bravest and most heartbreaking thing I've ever done. Please share this episode with anyone living in chaos who thinks they're alone. You're not. Smash that like button, subscribe, check out the show notes on Substack, on my Substack account. The link is listed in my YouTube channel profile. And I'll have all those recipes up on the Substack account as well. I'm Grace Mangum. Everyone wants to be me, but nobody wants to live in my building, which, frankly, fair. Totally fair. See you next time.